Solving equations when x is negative. In today's lesson, we will be looking at solving linear equations where the x is negative. Let's start off with a little bit of a recapping solving equations where the x is positive. We are just going to do this just so we can recap the balancing method, and then we can use that then to solve equations when the x is negative. So, recap. Oops, let's get rid of that. Recap, that's better. Okay, so number one, x plus 7 equals 9. The x is positive here, and we would just draw a line at the equal sign. That is our balancing line. We then need to get rid of anything that is not x. So in this situation, it's plus 7. So to get rid of it, we do the opposite. We subtract 7 on both sides. 9 take away 7 is 2. 7 take 7 is nothing, and we are just left with x. Okay. You might have something like this as well. X over 7 equals 3. So again, you would draw your line at the equal sign. It could be dotted, it could be straight, up to you. We need to get rid of a divide by 7. So we do the opposite by times by 7, because that will cancel it out. Well, 3 times 7 is 21. And divide by 7 and times by 7 cancel each other out, so we are just left with an x. Okay. We might have questions like this. 2x plus 4 equals 10. Draw your line at the equal sign. That is your balancing line. To get rid of a positive 4, we subtract 4 on both sides. 10 take 4 is 6. 4 take 4, nothing. So we're just left with 2x. Well, this means 2 times something is 6. Well, what is 2 times something is 6? What can that be? We can divide by 2 on both sides, or on top of our head, we can do x equals 3. Okay, so that here is a little recap of solving linear equations where the x was positive. What happens now if the x is negative? So let's have a look. We may have something like this. 8 minus x equals 1. And we can see here that the x is negative, isn't it? There's a negative sign in front of the x. Therefore, let's draw our dotted line. That's our balancing line. There are lots of different ways of doing this. There are 2 different ways, in fact. The first way here is to get rid of the negative x and make it into a positive x. So to do that, I do the opposite. So I'm going to add x on both sides. This side here, I'm just left with the number 8, because minus x add x cancels each other out, doesn't it? Minus x add x is nothing, or x take x is nothing. So that goes away. This side, I've just got 1 add x, and I can't add 1 and x together because they're different things, they're not the same thing. Therefore, it's going to have to stay as 1 add x. Now I've made the x's positive. So what I could now do is get rid of the number 1 by subtracting 1 on both sides. 8 take 1 is 7. 1 take 1 is nothing, goes, and I'm just left with x. So my answer is x is 7. Okay. Let's have a look at a different way. I'll keep that there so you can have a look. 8 take x equals 1. So again, draw your dotted line. Now I'm just going to do what I would do normally, like I did above, by subtracting 8 on both sides. So get rid of the number first. 8 take 8 is nothing. I'm left with minus x. Don't forget that the minus belongs to the x. The minus hasn't gone away with the number 8. It doesn't belong to the number 8, it belongs to the x. And then 1 take 8 is minus 7. Now I've got minus x equals minus 7. I still don't have the answer that I want because I just want to know what positive x is. Therefore, what I'm going to do now is, to get rid of the minus 1, I'm going to divide by minus 1 on both sides. And that's because my invisible number in front of the x is 1. So to get rid of a times by minus 1, I've got to divide by minus 1 on both sides. Minus 1 divided by minus 1 is nothing, well, it's just 1, so 1x. Just going to write x. And minus 7 divided by minus 1 is just positive 7. Because when you divide two negatives together, they turn into a positive. And there you are. You can see that there are two different methods here, and we still end up with the exact same answer. So it doesn't matter if you started off by subtracting 8 or you added x, you will still end up with the correct answer. Some people start to panic and then maybe make a mistake somewhere across because they think, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. But it's perfectly fine because you can still end up with the right answer. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Okay, this time 20 take away x equals 11. So I'm going to draw my dotted line. Okay, so I've got two choices. If I get rid of the x, I will need to add x on both sides. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to be left with 20 here. Minus x add x is nothing. And then I've got 11 add x here. Okay. Right, now, I just want to be left with x on its own. So I need to get rid of the 11 by subtracting 11. Well, 20 take away 11 is 9. 11 take 11 is nothing, and I'm just left with x. X equals 9. Okay, method number 2. 20 take x equals 11. Draw your line down the middle. Well, let's get rid of the number first. So minus 20 on both sides. Well, 20 take away 20 is nothing. So I'm left with minus x. Remember, the minus belongs to the x. So don't make that mistake and think, oh, I've got rid of 20 and the minus is going to go away with it. It's not like that. The minus belongs to the x. And then I've got to do 11 take away 20 this time, and I'm left with minus 9. Now remember, I just want positive x. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of the minus. So if you remember, the minus in front of the x is actually minus 1x equals minus 9. Well, how do I get rid of a times by minus 1? Divide by minus 1 on both sides. Minus 1 divided by minus 1 is just positive 1, so just 1x, just x on its own. And minus 9 divided by minus 1 is just 9, and there we are. Okay, let's have a look at a slightly different question then. Okay, let's have a look at minus 2x plus 1 equals 19. Two-step now. Draw your line, your balancing line. So first of all, again, let's start by getting rid of the minus 2x first, do it that way. So I can add 2x on both sides to get rid of it. Well, minus 2x add 2x is nothing, so I'm just left with 1. And this side, 19 plus 2x. Remember, I can't add the 19 and the 2x together because they are different, aren't they? They're not the same, so they can't be added together. So I need to get rid of the number now, minus 19 on both sides. I've now got to do 1 take away 19, which is minus 18. 19 take away 19, nothing. I'm left with 2x. Now you can swap this around if it makes your life easier. Some people like the x on the other side and it helps them work out the answer. You can leave it as it is. I will change it over, it doesn't matter. Minus 18 equals 2x, or 2x equals minus 18, exactly the same thing. So none of the signs have changed. That's still a minus 18, that's still a minus 18. That's a positive 2x, that's a positive 2x. Therefore, I can just swap them around like that. So 2x is minus 18. What's 1x? Well, x is going to have to be minus 9 because 2 times minus 9 is minus 18. if you were to do it the other way, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of the number first by subtracting 1 on both sides. Minus 2x, well, 1 take 1 is nothing, and 19 take 1 is 18. Then minus 2x equals 18. Well, then I just divide by 2 on both sides, and I get minus 9. And you can see that this method is far shorter than this method. Above here, it didn't matter when it was one step, because they're pretty much the same, aren't they? The same number of steps to answer the questions. But when you get to two-step equations, it is worth getting rid of the number first and not the x first, because look how complicated it can be when you get rid of the x first. So let's have a look at another one then. Let's have a look at 15 plus 2x equals 37. So we're going to stick to the one where you get rid of the number first, because that was shorter. I need to subtract 15 on both sides. 15 take 15 is nothing. I'm left with 2x equals, and then I've got to do 37, take away 15 is 22. And I've just forgot to put that into a negative. So let's put that there, negative, negative. Oops, 22 there. And then I've got to divide each side by minus 2. So this side I'm just left with x, and 22 divided by minus 2, you can write it like that. Well, that is minus 1. Okay. Let's have a look at another example then. What if we have something like this? Minus x minus 2 over 4 equals 1. Okay. Draw a line down the middle. A little bit tricky this time. I've got no option but to get rid of the divide by 4 first. So I need to times by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Well, divide by 4 and times by 4 cancel, so I'm just left with minus x minus 2. This is where now you can use either method. So let's do one of the methods first. If I add 2 on both sides, I'm left with minus x here, because minus 2 add 2 is nothing, and 4 add 2 is 6. Bit of a problem here because I've got minus x and I don't want minus x, I just want positive x. So what I need to do is I need to divide by minus 1, because that there is actually minus 1x equals 6. So divide by minus 1 on both sides, I'm left with x equals, well, 6 divided by minus 1 is just minus 6. If in this situation here, I was to get rid of the x by adding x on both sides, I would have minus 2 equals 4 add x, because here x plus x minus x plus x would cancel. Then I would just need to get rid of the 4, and 2 take away 4 is minus, oops, that's a minus 2, isn't it? Minus 2 take away 4 is minus 6 equals x. And for a minute there, I had to look back to see what mistake I made, because I did make a mistake. I forgot to put the minus in front of the 2, and I wasn't getting the same answer. And I thought, oh, hang on a minute, how can that be? Remember, whichever method you do, you're supposed to end up with the exact same answer. Let's have a look at another dividing one like that, and then we'll have a look at one with a bracket. Let's have a look at x plus, oops, minus x plus 1 over 3 equals 2. Okay, draw a line down the middle. First of all, you need to get rid of the divide by 3. By times by 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and I divide by 3 and times by 3 cancel, minus x plus 1. Two things you can do here. So let's get rid of the number first, minus 1, minus 1. I'm left with minus x equals 5, because 1 take 1 is nothing. A bit of a problem. That actually means minus 1, x equals 5. need to get rid of times by -1 by dividing by -1. -1 divided by -1 is just positive 1x, so just x. And 5 divided by -1 is -5. Or what I could have done is get rid of the x first by adding x, so it turns into a positive. Minus x, add x, nothing. So I'm left with 1 equals 6 add x. Now I need to get rid of the number 6 by subtracting 6 on both sides. 1 take 6 is -5. 6 take 6, nothing, and x, so x equals -5. And you can see we've ended up with the exact same answer. Okay, let's do one with a bracket then. 3 times 1 take x equals 6. Okay. Draw your line down the middle. The first thing you have to do is expand your bracket. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times -x is -3x equals 6. Let's just write that bit properly, yeah? Okay, subtract 3 on both sides. 3 take 3 is nothing. -3x, well, 6 take away 3 is 3. To get rid of the -3, I need to divide by -3 on both sides. -3 divided by -3 is just 1, so 1x, and 3 divided by -3 is -1. Again, if you had 3 minus 3x equals 6, you could have added 3x on both sides to get rid of the minus situation at the end. Oops, let's put an x there. So you're left with 3 minus 3x add 3x is nothing. So you're left with 6 add 3x. And then I just need to take away 6 on both sides. That's -3 there, and it's 3x. You can swap this over if it helps you. 3x equals -3. Now I just need to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is just 1x, and -3 divided by 3 is -1. And there you are, you end up with the exact same answer. So this here was a nice, quick lesson on solving equations when the x is negative. We looked at 2 different methods, so it's entirely up to you. You can use the method where you are getting rid of the x first and making it into positive, or where you are using the same method as solving a linear equation with a positive x, and you get rid of the numbers first, because both ways work and you end up with the exact same answer. Thank you for watching.